I rarely am quoted as saying there ought to be a law, but this is one area that I think legislators ought to turn their minds to. We're living through a new stage of the artificial intelligence revolution. This tech not only enables interesting text-based products, but can also facilitate the production of synthetic images and videos that purport to depict real people in made-up or fictional situations. We already have a problem with the non-consensual distribution of intimate images, which some people call revenge porn, but the introduction of artificial intelligence and what are called deepfakes takes the problem to a whole other level. I'm afraid the legal tools in our existing toolbox are insufficient. Hi, my name is David Fraser. I'm a privacy, internet, and technology lawyer with the Canadian law firm McGuinness Cooper. I also teach internet and media law at the Schulich School of Law at Dalhousie University. Well, a lot of recent attention has been given to text-based artificial intelligence products like ChatGPT. A similar revolution has been taking place using artificial intelligence to generate images. This, for example, is a funny example in which somebody took an image-based artificial intelligence system to generate realistic images of American presidents if they had mullet hairstyles. I'm not sure they would fool many people, but then you just have to look at a TikToker who has generated some hilarious videos where the actor is digitally altered to look and sound almost exactly like Tom Cruise. This video is from a little while ago, but the current state of the art is absolutely next level. That exact same technology could be used to make an extremely realistic video of a person depicted as doing something that they otherwise might not ever do or might not ever publicize. Aside from defamation and political disinformation, I see the greatest potential harms when it comes to synthetic, non-consensual pornography. And this isn't just theoretical or hypothetical. A number of young women who are prominent on the Twitch platform have been victims of deepfake synthetic pornography. Their faces and voices were used to create sexually explicit videos that they did not participate in, and they absolutely did not agree to have created or disseminated. This was reported on, and I'd encourage you to read the articles to get a sense of the incredible harm that this has done to these young women. A number of years ago, the Government of Canada amended our criminal code to create a criminal offense related to the non-consensual distribution of intimate images. If you look at the definition of what is an intimate image, it clearly presupposes that it is a recording of an actual person and that the actual person was involved, or at least present at its creation. I think it would be a real stretch to try to fit deepfake pornography into this definition. More recently, the province of British Columbia, in the last week, introduced a new piece of proposed legislation in order to address and provide civil remedies for the non-consensual distribution of intimate images. The definition there is clearly modeled on the definition from the Criminal Code of Canada, but does include images where the person is depicted as engaged in a particular activity, also regardless of whether the image has been altered. This is, in my view, a good step, but it really doesn't go far enough to address deepfake pornography, because again, it presupposes the victim was present or involved in the production of the ultimate recording. Most provinces in Canada already have laws on the books to provide civil remedies for the non-consensual distribution of intimate images, but all of them are similarly impaired or limited by definitions that closely track that from the criminal code, and they don't really fit for the entirely synthetic deepfake recording category. There are some other, more common, traditional civil actions that could be used in the context of deepfake pornography. For example, you can defame someone by use of an image or video, whether it involves the actual person, if it harms the reputation of the plaintiff. There's also a tort of appropriation of personality, which involves the commercial use of the plaintiff's image or reputation. This would be applicable if the deepfake is commercially exploited. The new to Canada tort of public disclosure of embarrassing private facts may be applicable, and it requires that the information be public, where the publication is highly offensive to a reasonable person, and the information is not of legitimate interest to the public. We also have a false light tort, where the plaintiff has been placed in a false light before the public. That, again, would be highly offensive to a reasonable person, and the defendant had knowledge of or acted in reckless disregard as to the falsity of the publicized material, and the false light in which the other would be placed. In my view, the fact that there are civil remedies for this sort of conduct does not preclude the need for amending the criminal code. The harms to victims of more traditional non-consensual distribution of intimate images is very similar to the harms experienced by the victims of non-consensual deepfake pornography. One of the Twitch streamer victims recounts that she was once sexually assaulted when unconscious, and finding herself in a deepfake video has a similar result. Her name, her body, both were taken from her and used by somebody else without her consent, and despite the fact that she never would have consented in the first place. That is deeply, deeply violative and something that should be condemned and punishable in our criminal code. I hope you found this video to be interesting. I try to put out a new video every few weeks, so if you're interested in this sort of content, please click the like and subscribe buttons. Also leave a comment if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for other topics to cover. And of course, feel free to share this with anyone who you think may be interested in hearing about Canadian tech and privacy law. Thanks for tuning in.